Okay, today Kayla's going to be demonstrating how to tie one of our favorite flies that we use for bass fishing. It's Bill Murdurich's Murdurich Minnow. First she's going to start by, we already had pre-wrapped our hook shank here, and so she's going to start wrapping her deer hair on her hook shank. She's going to pinch it at the top, go slow around at first, then as she works her way to the front, she's going to cinch it down even tighter. Now some people like to cut off the hair here. I like to just go ahead and wrap it all the way to the front. Helps build that head up later on when we're wrapping that. So she's going to work her thread back to her tie-in point, making sure that she gets nice, hard, steady wraps. Alright. The next piece of material that she's going to use is she's going to use her pearl flashabou. So she's already pre-selected a piece, and you want it about the same length as your deer hair. So she's going to go ahead and tie that in. There you go. And she's going to wrap that to the hook eye, and then wrap it back. Her next material that she's going to grab is her silver flashabou. Now she went ahead and measured this ahead of time and cut it extra long. So when she ties it in, she's going to make sure she's got fibers that reach all the way out to the eye of her hook. Because later on she's going to fold that back over and cover up all of our tie-in point. Again, pinching it at the top. Slowly making her wraps around. She gives it 4 or 5 good tie-ins. Next piece of material she's going to use is a piece of ice fur. This is going to start building some bulk into her fly. So she's going to tie that on the top portion of her fly also. There you go, right in our tie-in point. Going to pinch all that material down tight. One of the reasons we use the GSP is so we can really grab in onto that material and pinch it down tight. Now next she's going to take the front of her silver flashabou and she's going to pull it back over her ice fur. Make a nice little, almost like a fin back. And she's going to tie all that material down. Next piece of material that she's going to grab is some pearl estes. She's going to tie it into the back. And then she's going to take her thread and she's going to work it forward to her eye of her hook. And she's just going to leave her thread hang right there. Next she's going to take her pearl estes and she's going to start wrapping her hook shank, making sure that she covers up her tie-in points. She wants to make sure she gets nice and tight wraps, that way she builds a nice tight head. Now she's going to finish tying off the pearl estes and she's going to trim it. Next she's going to take her thread and she's going to build a little bit of a head out front up by her hook as she palmers that estes back. So she's going to make 4 or 5 wraps. Next she's going to take her whip finishing tool and go ahead and finish the fly off. And she's going to cut her thread, and basically we're done with the tie-in portion of the minnow. Next, she's going to take her prism coloring pen in a cool gray, and she's going to color the top of her fly. She's going to give it that dimensional look. This is where a rotary vise works nice. You can spin that fly right around and keep working on it. Next, what she's going to take is she's going to take some Zap-A-Gap gel glue, and she's going to glue in her eyes. So she's going to put a little Zap-A-Gap on there. And a little bit on the other side. Now she's going to take her, we like to use red eyes. Kind of looks like a baby smallmouth. She's going to press them on the side. She's going to use her little end of her whip finishing tool to make sure she doesn't get any of that glue on her. And she's going to put her other eye on the other side. Using her tool to get it into place. And basically, that is your Murdurich Minnow. We would like to thank Kayla for taking the time out to show us how to tie this one.